Tonight, Ighodalo declared winner of Edo PDP governorship primaries. Trade Union Congress backs out of planned labor protest. Oyo governor refutes receiving 30 billion naira economic bailout from the federal government. South Africa trade unions described budget speech a disappointment. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Felicity Ezewike. The news begins in Nigeria, where renowned businessman Asue Ighodalo has won the People's Democratic Party PDP governorship primary for Edo State, beating about 9 other candidates, including the deputy governor of the state, in the election held in Benin City on Thursday. The exercise was held at the Samuel Igbomudia Stadium in the Edo State capital, with Ighodalo polling 577 to emerge as the state's ruling party's governorship candidate for the September 2024 election. Chairman of the Edo Electoral Committee and Governor Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State declared him the winner of the exercise.
Who Odezua scored 0 votes. Number 2, Asue Ighodalo. Number 2, also scored 0 votes. Number 3, Asue Ighodalo scored 577 votes. Number 4, Al-Osaze scored 0 votes. Number 5, Felix Akabwe also scored 0 votes. Number 6, Martin Uhomopihi scored also 0 votes. Number 7, Obede Ehamo Omorege withdrew. Number 8, Omosede Gabriela Igbenedion, she also withdrew. While number 9, Mr. Philip Shaibu, scored 1 vote. Omori Audrey Abosede Aduni Adiza to Adiza scored 0 votes. Total number of void votes is 06. I therefore declared Asue Ighodalo as the winner of just concluded primaries today with a total vote of 577.
Meanwhile, in a parallel primary held on Thursday, the state deputy governor, Philip Shaibu, emerged as the candidate for the September 21 election. Still talking Edo governorship primaries, as the political tension in the state continue to heighten, 3 parties have so far concluded their governorship primaries with a winner emerging. The parties include the ruling People's Democratic Party, whose flag bearer will be renowned businessman Asue Ighodalo. Zenith Labour Party will be represented by Bishop Akelame, while Kennedy Iyere is flying the flag Accord Party winner. One of the strongest opposition in the state, the All Progressive Congress, APC, had to declare its own primary election inconclusive after 3 candidates were announced, with chairman of the primary organizing committee, Governor Hope Uzodinma, taking the hit for a poorly conducted exercise, while the Labour Party, which is also immersed in controversy, holds its primaries tomorrow. We're now joined by News Centre's correspondent, Bernard Akede, who is on the ground monitoring all the developments in Edo State. Bernard, it's good to see you. I hope you're keeping safe. Let's begin with the PDP primaries that was held at the Samuel Ighodalo Stadium. Give us a rundown of how it went.
Thank you, Felicity. Thank you for having me. The PDP primaries at the Samuel Ighodalo Stadium first started off with accreditation of the delegates somewhere in a place they call the Old Edo Hotel. Delegates from from about 18 local governments in Edo State all converged there. They all had their accreditation, and then from there they moved to Samuel Ighodalo Stadium. Now, as you read in that report, about 10 different aspirants were contesting for this particular chance to fly the party's flag in the forthcoming election. Of the 10, 2 were women. Just as the election was about to start, 2 of the aspirants pulled out, and then the third one, a woman, gave her own mandate to Ighodalo, leaving them down to 7. Now, of that 7, eventually the election was conducted, and well, as I said in the last report I gave, if the term landslide victory was to be given a definition, I think the result of this election would have been the definition of landslide, because Ighodalo won by 577 votes. The only person after him who got a vote was the deputy governor, that's Philip Shaibu, who got just 1 vote. And then every other person who contested got 0 votes. I mean, it was almost as if it was a unanimous decision.
Yeah,
you know?
I would want to ask you about
Samuel Ighodalo Stadium.
I would want to ask you about the reasons given by those who withdrew, but we have other pressing questions, and that's the one about a parallel primary where Shaibu was declared winner. Can you tell us about that?
Well, to be honest, right, we were in the Samuel Ighodalo Stadium. We didn't even know that there was a parallel election going on anywhere. And it was almost similar to what happened when the APC had their own elections, where there were parallel elections going on. And we were unfortunately invited to the results announcement of the parallel election, not the original one that was supposed to attend, you know, and that's how we got ourselves in trouble, and we got attacked by thugs who said we were out there announcing fake results. So we could have fallen victim of the same thing eventually if we were at the wrong venue. You know, it was only while we were in there that we heard that there was a parallel result announcement. Now, my question again is, who were the contestants in that parallel election that was conducted? You know, who was the returning officer? Who were the people who conducted the elections? Who were the candidates who contested in that particular election? It almost seems like it was deja vu all over again. What happened at the APC last week Thursday, or last week Saturday, I beg your pardon, trying to repeat itself here with the PDP, basically because one particular candidate, you know, didn't find himself favored. Well, rumor had it that the deputy governor, Philip Shaibu, approached the Samuel Ighodalo Stadium with his supporters, but that they were not granted access. I can't confirm that, but that's the rumor we heard. And that's the reason why they turned away and decided to conduct their own election. Also, not forgetting that in the past few months leading to the primaries, Philip Shaibu and his principal, that's the governor of the state, Obaseki, have not exactly been on good terms, you know. So we knew somehow that there was going to be some drama leading up to today's election, but what kind of drama, we did not know until we got to the stadium and we found out that Shaibu was not even there.
Bernard, I'm very sure we'll be hearing more development from Edo State tomorrow. But what can you tell us about the postponed APC primaries that was to hold today? Any update on that?
Well, yes. So the APC primaries, we also did get, you know, wind of information that there were attempts to hold the APC primaries again today. But just as it happened last week, Saturday, it ended in a little bit of crisis. I'm still waiting to get full information about, you know, what that term means, crisis. We heard that, you know, there was some scuffle here and there. There was some disturbance as well. And because of that, you know, the whole planned, would I say, re-election was scattered and cancelled. So they're still pushing. I'm hearing that they're still pushing for another date and another election. But remember that INEC will not give, you know, infinity time. all the parties have to conduct their elections at a particular time, or else they might just be cancelled from running the election in September. So APC definitely has to put their house together and in order.
Bernard, we will be coming back to you for updates, most likely tomorrow. Thank you very much for speaking with us. Again, please stay safe. All right, from politics, let's talk about the cost of living crisis. The Trade Union Congress in Nigeria has withdrawn from the planned two-day nationwide protest announced by the Nigeria Labour Congress over the lingering cost of living and the economic hardship in the country. The TUC had earlier communicated its grievances over the planned protest to the NLC in a letter dated February 19 by its Secretary General, Dr. Nuhu Toro. In a letter addressed to the NLC President, Joe Ajero, the trade union faulted the process the Labour Congress adopted in fixing the date for the protest. The TUC argued that the date for the protest should have been collectively decided upon, since both unions had jointly issued a 2-week ultimatum to the government. In the meantime, the Lagos State Governor, Southwest Nigeria, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, on Thursday said his administration will be reducing public servants' working days as part of plans to cushion the cost of living crisis in the country. Addressing residents of the state during a live interview on the rising cost of food, the governor added that his administration will open more markets where Lagosians can buy food items at discounted rates. Governor Sanwo-Olu said the 25% reduction in transport services will start this weekend for the state public transport system, including bus, train, and ferry. The governor noted that his administration was also in discussions with various transport unions to reduce their fares.
We're planning to build a storage facility, cold, dry facility that can help push, when we have things, push produce and product to our citizens, using that hub as a receiver, of large produce. So we're going to be having even trading, facilities there. This is the hub that will be doing things like the aggregator, ensure that all of the yam people that are coming from Benue, all of the tomato they can have offtake from there. They can know that once they're coming, there's somebody that will write the check. And that facility will be able to, the ones that will not go to the market because of perishability, and storage, will have the opportunity to stay in that facility. And we're happy that we took that decision 2 years ago. The facility will be ready, should be completed before the end of this year. And it's something that we're truly grateful for, that we took that decision.
One of our headline stories tonight has to do with a governor of Oyo State in southwest Nigeria, Seyi Makinde. He has denied allegations that the 36 state governors received a sum of 30 billion naira each to address the current hardships in their respective states. Governor Makinde was responding to recent allegations made by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, who stated that an unverified report claimed the governors had collected 30 billion naira from the federal government. The governor, who reacted to this during the commissioning of a central mosque in the state, questioned why Senator Akpabio would make such a statement, knowing well that it was an unverified information. He added that it is not feasible for the Federal Inland Revenue Service to issue money to any state, emphasizing that the funds in the Federation account are intended for the benefit of Nigerians and not for distribution among the states. Let's also tell you that the Nigerian Senate on Thursday confirmed 12 members for the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria with a charge to immediately formulate policies to salvage the country's ailing economy. The MPC is made up of CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso as chairman and 11 others as members. Their confirmation information followed the presentation of the report of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions, headed by Senator Adetokunbo Abiru. Senator Abiru told his colleagues that the nominees are not only experienced in their field, but also possess the requisite qualifications to excel in the MPC.
That their appointments are in accordance with the provisions of the Act, that the nominees possess the requisite qualification, that we did not receive any petition against any of the nominees, and that the nominees have been cleared by the Nigerian Police Force, Department of State Security, and they have their Code of Conduct acknowledgement slips. Recommendations. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the Committee on Banking, Insurance, and Other Financial Institutions, after robust engagement with the nominees and being satisfied with their experiences, performances, and academic qualifications, do hereby recommend as follows: that the Senate do confirm the nomination of all the underlisted members as members of the Monetary Policy Committee of the
Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Banking, Insurance, and Other Financial Institutions on the screening of Mr. President's nominees for appointment as members of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and approved the nominations of Olayemi Kadoso as chairman, Mohammed Sani Abdullahi as member, Bala Bello as member, Emem Usoro as member, Philip Ikazo as member, Jafia Lydia Shehu as member, Lamido Yuguda as member, Moritala Sabo Sagagi as member, Aloysius Uche Odu as member, Agu Pauline Odinkemelu as member, Mustafa Akiumi as member, and Bandele Eji Amor as member. So this approval by the Senate is for the chairman and members of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Yes. I wish them well and pray that they will use their expertise to redirect the monetary policies, including even contributions to the fiscal policies, to ensure that Nigeria gets out of the current economic quagmire.
You're watching Tonight. We're on a short break. We'll continue afterwards. Do stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. The federal government says that over $800 million needed for the rehabilitation of the Nigerian ports is almost ready. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Asue Ighodalo, said this in Apapa, Lagos, during the commissioning of the newly acquired security patrol boats of the Nigerian Ports Authority. News Centre's maritime correspondent, Norma Obi Asuelu, has more. Right.
The Nigerian Port Authority had in November said it was launching over $800 million for the rehabilitation of all the ports in Nigeria in the first quarter of 2024, while noting that almost all the ports in Nigeria needed rehabilitation. This substantial overhaul, MPA says, will start with the Tinkan Island and Apapa Port in Lagos. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy Asue Ighodalo, while addressing journalists after the commissioning, reiterated the need to modernize the port to meet global standards.
We are modernizing the port, we are automating the port. We want to be able to compete with any port in the world. We want to ensure the vessel turnaround time is reduced to about 4 days, as opposed to about 6-10 days now. I can tell you that the fund for rehabilitation of the port is almost ready. So we're going to commence rehabilitation any time from now. The operation of the marine and blue economy covers the entire Nigerian space. So I'm delighted that about 4 of them will be deployed to the other eastern part to ensure security of the marine space in that area. We're going to do a lot of that.
The managing director of the Nigerian Ports Authority, Mohammed Bello Koko, said the inauguration of the boat was a testament to the agency's commitment to continuous improvement in the journey towards transforming the strategic intent of becoming the maritime logistic hub for sustainable port services in Africa from potential to actualities.
We assure the minister that we'll keep doing more to ensure that we meet those KPIs that have been set. And as the minister has said, the funding for the port rehabilitation is almost ready, and he's right on spot on that. Very soon you'll hear about us commencing the port rehabilitation.
Maritime security is of increasing concern to the global shipping industry, where there are a wide range of security threats and challenges. Thus, Nigeria is playing her part given the country's extensive coastline and its strategic position in the Gulf of Guinea. In Lagos, for News Central, Norma Obiaswalo.
Immunization programs are put in place to help protect the populace against major diseases. However, oftentimes, there are several challenges that mitigate against the optimization of the full benefits of immunization programs. It is to mitigate against such challenges that the Pediatric Association of Nigeria and the International Pediatric Association, in collaboration with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, organized the National Immunization Champions Workshop. Kelechi Okoro has details.
National Immunization Champions Workshop is seen as a crucial step towards creating a network of immunization champions who can drive positive change in healthcare outcomes for mothers and children across Nigeria. Dedicated to building capacity and fostering collaboration, the workshop aims to elevate immunization coverage, ultimately contributing to the reduction of maternal and children mortality. In a press statement, the president of the Pediatric Association of Nigeria, Dr. Ekane Mekure, expressed concern over the barriers hindering vaccine uptake and the importance of leveraging traditional and social media to generate vaccine acceptance and demand.
At no point in the history of Nigeria is the axiom prevention is better than cure more relevant. With most families struggling to feed their children, they cannot afford any major illness in any family member. However, many of these illnesses are preventable with immunizations.
Experts are emphasizing the need to reach the unreached population through essential immunization programs and addressing the burden of cervical cancer with the HPV vaccine.
There are vaccine-preventable diseases that unfortunately still take lives in Nigeria. And there is a need to create that sensitization and awareness to ensure that no Nigerian life is lost to a vaccine-preventable illness. Illnesses such as cervical cancer. We still have women with invasive cervical cancer. It is not supposed to be.
The conversations didn't shy away from addressing the harsh realities hindering vaccine uptake.
Our parents are not giving their children these effective vaccines for many reasons. Chief among the reasons being misinformation from all quarters, including social media.
We are here to support Pediatric Association of Nigeria in creating a pool of immunization champions. This is a unique training program for immunization champions, national immunization champions, and then we will go to the regional level also.
Experts compared notes and lessons from other countries and shared valuable lessons from HPV vaccine introductions, fostering a collaborative environment for a healthier future and ensuring optimal health for the Nigerian child.
Director of Nutrition at the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Ladidi Bako Ayebusi, has emphasized the urgent need for intentional investment in comprehensive nutrition services nationwide. She said such investment has the potential to yield substantial savings of up to $22 million in healthcare treatment costs linked to child malnutrition. Highlighting the preventive impact, Bako Ayebusi noted that prioritizing nutrition could avert over 10 million cases of childhood diarrhea and pneumonia annually, significantly reducing child mortality by approximately 220,000 deaths in Nigeria. Recognizing malnutrition as a critical barrier to children's well-being and long-term economic growth, stakeholders advocate for concerted efforts to address this pressing issue, underscoring its significance for Nigeria's socio-economic development. To discuss this, I'm joined by Chairman, Nutrition Society of Nigeria, Lagos Chapter, Collins Akano. Thank you very much, Collins, for giving us your time. Can you quickly give us an overview of the state of child nutrition in Nigeria?
Thank you for having me. Certainly in Nigeria, we face significant challenges when it comes to child nutrition. Currently, according to the Global Hunger Index, Nigeria scores 28.3 in the Global Hunger Index. This simply means that Nigeria is facing serious hunger levels. Now, with this issue at hand, of course, children are most affected. There are about 37 children under 5. According to UNICEF, about 37% of under 5 children are currently stunted. We have 18% of them undergoing wasting, and of course, 29% of them have underweight as well. So all of these statistics goes to show that there is a lack of access to sufficient nutritious food, and further worsens the problem we're currently facing. Yeah.
What role does proper nutrition play in preventing child deaths and improving overall health outcomes in the context of Nigeria's child population?
Okay, nutrition plays a very critical role when it comes to better health outcomes for the entire populace, particularly children. Okay, the child mortality rate currently in Nigeria stands at, I think, about 50 deaths per 1,000 live births. That's a very staggering statistic. You know, these statistics are human beings we're talking about. So addressing malnutrition is definitely crucial for us. And malnourished children are more susceptible to a lot of illnesses and non-communicable diseases, as it were. So we can improve or reduce the mortality rates of these children by fostering adequate nutrition, because in adequate nutrition we can improve their immune functions. We can also help with the cognitive development of these children, and ultimately their physical growth will be affected, and disease risk reduction as well. So I think if we get the nutrition problem right, we'll be increasing overall well-being for children, even in later life.
What specific nutritional interventions during childhood are crucial in, say, mitigating long-term effects and their impact on productivity in adulthood?
Firstly, I would say exclusive breastfeeding. We, the nutrition professionals, we're still having to advocate for exclusive breastfeeding in children from the 0 to about 2 years after delivery. Improving exclusive breastfeeding will be very, very influential in championing nutritional health for children, as laying a foundation. Then we need to also work on the micronutrient supplementation and fortification programs. This has to be large scale, nationwide if it's possible, to help address these deficiencies, especially as it affects cognitive development, because some of the things that the children suffer at the early stage in life affects them even in adulthood. So we need to, champion these. And of course, access to nutritious foods. Looking at the current situation of the country right now with the whole food insecurity and nutrition insecurity also, this is a major challenge. Getting adequate nutrition, even low-cost adequate diets are very, very difficult at this period. So we need to also sustain hygienic practices for these children, because, they grab and go. I always tell people the children grab and go, they pick up dirt, and they infect themselves. So we need to work on these for long-term health and for productivity as well.
All right, Collins, thank you very much for speaking with us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Nigerian scientists have decried the continuous fall of the naira in the foreign exchange market as it affects development and research in the health sector. They are asking the government to reduce import duty tax on reagents and other research items. News Center's Adishewa Udushoga reports.
Scientific research has been proven to be an essential component of healthcare in any country. including Nigeria, as it provides context crucial to tackle new diseases and manage existing ones. However, Nigerian scientists who are saddled with this responsibility in the country are now faced with the big elephant in the room. They say the country's forex crisis is affecting quality-based research amidst the increasing cost of materials.
Even if you look at some of this output of research that you need to publish in some reputable journals which are open access, by the time they give you the dollars, the pounds that you need to pay for the publication fee, you discover that is on the high side.
In Nigeria, community-based health research has aided the retention and improvement of quality, adequate and competent distribution of committed primary healthcare workforces, improving access to healthcare. However, researchers say it has become more expensive to conduct community-based research and diagnosis and even import reagent as the naira continues to weaken further. They want the government to reduce tax on importation.
The reducing of tax on reagent life sciences equipment in the country. I have ordered for some kits, despite I paid. At the end of the day, when it gets to Lagos again, we need to pay tax. And we are not using it for, money purpose. It's just research.
Access to funding and inadequate personnel are some of the major challenges affecting development research in Nigeria. But with the lingering forex fluctuations, stakeholders say urgent actions are needed to enable them to compete with their counterpart globally. In Lagos for News Central, Adeshewa Odushoga.
We want a short break now. The news continues right after. Thank you for staying with us. Let's move away from Nigeria for a bit and head to South Africa, where we understand the South African Federation of Trade Unions says it is disappointed by Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana's cutting the inflation-adjusted budgets of nearly every part of the state, while raising the budget for subsidizing corporations via the Economic Affairs Cluster. The union says the budget does not reflect on the working class and marginalized poor's demand, as it is a continuation of the market-led budget. Meanwhile, South Africa's economy faces a tipping point, with growth estimates from analysts and researchers pointing downwards. Continual rolling blackouts are showing little sign of stopping, while port and rail inefficiencies and a high sovereign credit risk remain threats to economic growth in the country. Let's go over to our business desk for the latest in that world.
Business news in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
Welcome to Business News. Nigeria has taken steps to address the surging cost of cooking gas by immediately suspending liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) exports. This decision was announced by Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Sekwerekpe Ekpo, during an internal stakeholders workshop in Abuja. The decision aims to enhance LPG availability within the domestic market and alleviate financial burdens on consumers due to escalating prices. The minister is believed to have held discussions with key stakeholders, including the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, as well as major operators like Mobil, Chevron, and Shell. The stakeholders are having ongoing collaborations to address challenges being faced by consumers and ensure a more stable and affordable cooking gas market. The Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria is said to automate its trading operations to combat market speculators and street traders, supporting the government's crackdown on street forex trading. The association's president, Aminu Gwadabe, revealed plans for an automation platform pending approval from the Central Bank of Nigeria, which is aiming to revolutionize the retail forex market and eliminate street trading. Gwadabe emphasized the need for the CBN's no-objection approval to fully automate the industry within 3 weeks. He also clarified that the ongoing raids and arrests target forex street traders, not the licensed bureau de change operators. The Naira's volatility is attributed to supply and demand imbalances and liquidity issues, prompting the association to urge strict adherence to forex regulations and office-based operations. The Bank of Botswana has kept its main interest rate at 2.40% and revised its average inflation forecast for 2024 to 4%, lower than the previous 4.9% projection. Governor Cornelius Jacob stated that the country's economy is anticipated to operate below full capacity in the short term, leading to a lack of demand-driven inflationary pressures. The decision to keep the policy rate steady follows a reduction to 2.40% at the previous monetary policy meeting in December. Despite a slight increase in January, with year-on-year inflation reaching 3.9%, Jacob expects inflation to remain at this level in February. The bank's latest forecast also highlighted potential risks from geopolitical tensions affecting global trade and weather events impacting agricultural output. Rwanda's central bank maintained its key interest rate at 7.5%, with the possibility of a future rate cut if inflation trends remain positive. Governor John Wangombwa also anticipated that last year's economic growth would exceed the initial projection of 6.2%. This decision marks the second consecutive time the National Bank of Rwanda has kept its key lending rate steady, following an increase from 7% in August. Annual inflation, which peaked at 21.7% in November 2022, decreased to 5.0% in January, aligning with the policymakers' 2 to 8% target range. The bank's latest forecast anticipates an average inflation of around 5% for the year, while acknowledging potential risks from geopolitical tensions and weather events affecting agricultural output. That's business news at this hour. Thank you for watching. I am Perpetua Fasome Peter. The news continues shortly. Bye for now.
Business news in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money. Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile.
Let's now move over to our sports desk for the latest in sports.
Much Felicity. In sport, the Nigerian national women's football team are preparing to face old rivals, the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon, in a two-legged qualifier for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games holding this summer. The nine-time African champions have not featured at the Olympic Games since the 2008 Beijing. The Falcons are already in Douala ahead of the first leg, which will take place at the Stade de la Unification on Friday evening, with Uganda officials officiating. Coach Randy Waldrum has selected a strong squad of 21 players, and speaking at the pre-match press conference earlier today alongside team captain Chiamaka Nadozie, Waldrum said he was confident his team would progress.
Obviously is to qualify for the Olympics. We can't look ahead of ourselves as to the success in the Olympics until we get there. So qualification is going to be the primary goal.
Yeah, I'm so happy to win this award, and yeah, that is bygone. That was last year, and this year we'll have a new goal, and all the focus now is on tomorrow's game. And the girls are happy, everyone is happy. The coach has started a lot, so hope tomorrow we'll implement everything in the game, and we are hopeful that, yeah, we'll get something out of it.
Still talking football, Black Queens of Ghana have received their outstanding bonuses, easing tensions within the team camp ahead of the crucial Olympic Games qualifier against Zambia. The players who had previously threatened to boycott the match were reportedly owed $7,500 each. The resolution came on Thursday, just in time for Friday's first leg encounter, following assurances from the top officials, including Ghana Football Association President Kurt Okraku and Sports Minister Mustafa Usif. The officials visited the players on Wednesday evening, promising substantial support and guaranteeing the payment of their bonuses. The Ghana Black Queens entered the game in impressive form, having suffered only one defeat in their last 11 matches. Meanwhile, the winners of the third round tie will face either Tunisia or Morocco in April for a place at Paris 2024. And now to Europe, where, of course, Real Madrid midfielder and former German international Toni Kroos has come out of international football retirement for Euro 2024 that will be hosted by Germany. Kroos, who is 34 years of age, was part of the German team who had won the World Cup in 2014 and has won 106 caps for his country. The German midfielder retired in July of 2021, but has now reversed his decision after talks with German coach Julian Nagelsmann. He is now eligible to be selected in Nagelsmann's squad for next month's international friendlies and against France and the Netherlands. Interesting one for Toni Kroos. And now to wrap up sports update, World Athletics President Sebastian Coe has led a tribute for marathon world record holder Kevin Kipton following his tragic death. Marathon world record holder Kevin Kipton and his coach were killed in a traffic accident in the Rift Valley, cutting short the promising career of the only man to have run the Endurance Classic in less than 2 hours and 1 minute. Meanwhile, people across the area have been commemorating Kipton, including at the site of the road accident which killed him, where some laid flowers at a makeshift vigil. His death came just months after he set a men's world record of 2 hours and 25 seconds in Chicago Marathon.
This is why I'm here to mourn, but also to celebrate an extraordinary young life. And Kelvin's achievements were extraordinary. That he should have scaled such heights at such a young age in itself is almost unique.
And that's it on Sports Update. I'm Favor Itwa. Over to Felicity.
Many thanks, Favor. May his soul rest in peace. We want a short break. When we come back, we will have entertainment stories for you. To stay with us.
Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
Glad you're still with us. Let's now join my colleague, Jadel, for the latest entertainment. Jadel Simon, over to you.
Thank you, Felicity. Welcome to Entertainment Tonight. Now let's get into it. Nollywood actress Jamal Kohli, known for her role as Wasilat in the popular YouTube series Skinny Girl in Transit, speaks out about experiencing workplace harassment. In an interview with Chul Jidonwo, she revealed being propositioned for a job in exchange for sexual favors. Okoli recounted being kept waiting for hours before the individual made inappropriate advances in a lounge, explicitly linking the job offer to sexual favors. This disturbing incident underscores the prevalence of workplace harassment. Now, that is a sad one. Moving on from that, Wendy Williams is in the news again. Former talk show host Wendy Williams has been diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia. As confirmed by her team in a recent press release, Williams gained fame as the host of the Wendy Williams Show from 2008 to 2021. The decision to disclose her diagnosis was made to promote understanding and compassion for her situation and to raise awareness about aphasia and FTD. This news came ahead of the premiere of her documentary about Williams, titled Where is Wendy Williams?, which airs on Lifetime on February 24th and 25th. That's the most we can take on entertainment tonight. We'll go on a short break, and when we're back, we'll bring you the updates on what is trending tonight.
Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
Thank you for staying with us. Away from entertainment stories, let's tell you what is trending. Currently trending on social media and stirring reactions from various quarters is First Lady, and here's why. In a trending post by an ex-user, the First Lady of Edo State is seen launching a sensitization school project for kids. What may seem to be the problem with this photo is the mediocre way in which it is being presented. A 10-liter gallon barely hanging onto two sticks. And then another unfortunate situation with the Tigers having to forfeit Afro baskets because of lack of funds from the government. Ex-users have attributed this to the presidential yacht and SUV, but for the First Lady and lawmakers. Let's take a look at this last reaction. PO Grassroots M is quoting the member of the the member of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. He says, in America, I have never heard that they bought vehicles for legislators or the First Lady. America does not waste funds. Then why should a struggling nation do? This is why we need a new Nigeria. Next on what's trending is Binance. Earlier today, many Nigerians could not log into their Binance account, and that sparked many reactions on X. Here's what people had to say. BKB says, yo, Binance, what is going on? Thousands of Nigerians can't log into their account again. What is happening? Please look into these and address these issues. And then Sahara reporters quoted Binance announcement. They said, okay, yeah, this is a letter from Binance, assuring people that everything is going on fine and there's just a little hitch in network. It says cryptocurrency trading platform Binance announces blockage of websites in Nigeria. And here's this last tweet from Teddy Speaks. Binance is still functioning, everyone in Nigeria. Stop panic selling your tokens. That's all for tonight on What's Trending. I'm Jadel Simon, back with Felicity for the rest of the news.
I must say that Nigeria sometimes feels like a comedy show with the things that we see. But it is what it is. Thank you very much for that update. And that's where we wrap things up tonight. But before we go, let's take another look at some of the major stories. Ighodalo has been declared winner of Edo PDP governorship primaries. Trade Union Congress has backed out of planned labor protests. Oyo governor has refuted receiving 30 billion naira economic bailout from federal government. We also told you that South Africa trade unions have described budget speech a disappointment. All right, thanks, Favor and Jadel.
Thank you, Felicity.
Thank you very much, Felicity.
All right, I would like to hear from you, our viewer. Please send your eyewitness report to the number showing now on your screen. You can follow us on social media at News Central TV. We're live on DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and on YouTube. Many thanks for watching. Good night.